European Union leaders have been warned a €1.5 trillion package will be needed to rebuild the bloc's worst-hit economies after the coronavirus pandemic. Spain wants the new rescue package to ensure better-off member states cannot undercut those dealing with more economic and political devastation. Nadia Calvino, the country's deputy prime minister for the economy, said the Coronavirus Recovery Fund must award grants, not loans, to stop cash-rich countries from gaining a competitive advantage over their single-market neighbors. Ahead of an EU summit on Thursday, she called for European capitals to share the debt burden of the bloc's economic rebuild. The European response to this crisis cannot be that some countries end up with higher debt-to-GDP ratios, Ms. Calvino told the Financial Times. We need to make sure that we protect the functioning of the internal market. It cannot be that some countries are able to support her plans would see Germany prevented from pumping money into its coronavirus-stricken companies to keep them afloat after the pandemic passes. Berlin has already committed more money to fighting the economic impacts of coronavirus than the likes of Italy and Spain, the EU's worst-hit nations, who already face bigger bills for their own recovery. Ms. Calvino called on the European Commission to be very vigilant with future relaxation of its state aid rules so guarantees given to companies are similar across the EU. EU leaders are set to discuss the bloc's economic future as part of a virtual European Council summit on Thursday. Finance ministers this month reached an agreement on a €500 billion package of emergency solutions after bitter political wrangling between northern and southern states. Ms. Calvino said the solution, the recovery fund, should be an appropriate size. She added, with Spanish government estimating the need for between €1 trillion to €1.5 trillion. The Spanish minister said it would be funded through permanent debt issued by the European institutions and paid by new revenue generated by the Commission. Madrid wants the rescue package to allocate funds based on drops in GDP and increases in unemployment. The Bank of Spain has warned that the country's GDP could slump by up to 13.6% this year, depending on how long Pedro Sanchez's government maintains its lockdown measures. Public debt was forecast to rise from just under 100% of GDP to 120% even before recovery costs are calculated. Ms. Calvino said EU-wide measures were needed because of a drop of support in the bloc across a number of states, including Spain. This is not only about financial ability, this is about providing a